Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Real Talking Podcast with your hosts Ashley and JD. So, we're going to start off with another email question here. So we've got a new person. So, Danji, we've got a bit of competition now, kid. We've got
Danji hates it.
Yeah, we've got an email from David.
Davey boy.
Davey boy. Dave, little Dave, big Dave, don't know who you are, how big you are or anything, but yeah.
It's ironic. Either way.
Yeah. So, he's asked, he's emailed just these, love the poo stories, have you got any more, doesn't have to be about poo, just something funny.
Right. Okay, yeah, so I've got a story, and we touched on it a bit last week, where you know when you had good numbers going out.
Yeah.
So every now and again we used to go to Worcester for a night out, and I don't know why we did, because we never used to stay in a hotel. We just sleep in the van. And
yeah, we had a couple of chaotic nights like that.
Yeah.
We?
So this one night in particular though, is the lad that was taking us down. He had his big Sprinter van.
Yeah.
I won't say his name just in case or whatever. But yeah, so if I remember right, we had 3 in the front, obviously driving the 2 in the passengers in the front of the van, and I want to say there was about 5 or 6 in the back of the van at the time.
I know which night you're on about. I can't remember how many there was. I think there was about 8 of us in total.
Yeah, so
Probably, there would have been about 5 because no one else drove there.
No, that one particular time was just
it was just the one vehicle.
Yeah.
Because we was meant to stay at someone's house, wasn't we?
No, not that night.
I thought we was. That's why we ended up sleeping in the van.
No, not this night I'm on about. Maybe that was another night, but the night
we had a few occasions like that anyway.
Yeah, but this night, because I remember this night you got fucked. So anyway,
that was pretty much every time. I don't think there was a time that we went out in Worcester and I wasn't completely rat-arsed.
Yeah, but yeah. So literally, I remember we all confirmed going out. 8, 9 of us. We'll go in an hour to get ready, or whatever it was. So I remember thinking, what I'm gonna do, because I know we're gonna end up sleeping there. That's what we've done. My old bed had a bed underneath my bed in case someone stopped over.
Yeah.
So I just took the mattress from that and put it in his van. And I remember thinking, nah, I'm going to get fucked tonight. Went up the road, bought a bottle of Lambrini. Do you remember that? Like £2.75 of the cherry flavour, you know.
Yeah, because we used to get the bottles of Jack's as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Jack cider.
Yeah.
That was nice.
So, because obviously that's the perk when I wouldn't do it now. But why the fuck would I see in the back of a van getting fucked with a nylon whips? So, anyway,
Lambrini girls.
No, but I wanted to be, when we walk into the club, be already
on the level,
like on the bus. Yeah. So I remember I put my chinos on. That's how long ago it was. Chino, even though they're making a comeback.
I'll still wear mine from time to time. I'm not gonna go out often. No. I've just got them.
Yeah.
And I just don't always feel like wearing jeans.
I like wearing chinos now. When we go out, that's what I wear, because I feel anyway.
We'll save the fashion tip for another episode.
You know. We should do one just to fuck about one. But anyway, so back to the story. So went up the shop, Lambrini, feeling it. Anyway, chinos on, pair of Vans on. I don't know, whatever t-shirt was at the time, ready to go. 5 of us in the back, 3 of us in the front. And on the way there, I remember all of us were just sitting on my mattress, just talking shit, drinking. Went out. It was good enough night. I remember you and the driver though was smashed, so one of the other lads had to drive back. Now, see, I can see you. So yeah. So
because to be fair, when me and him were always out together, it's not that it was a competition, but it was like we used to egg each other on to drink more, and we'd get rounds together, which
But
there'll be a story for another episode, really, of those kinds of antics. But yeah, we almost force feed ourselves drinks.
yeah, you try
just
to
get
outman each other.
Yeah, I suppose it was. It was a pissing contest, wasn't it? Or,
So
even though his dick's bigger than all of ours put together, so it wasn't that kind of a contest.
So, well, there's another story. Yeah, long story short. So in the club, we went on to 7-pound bottles of champagne. It was a club called Tramps. I don't know if it's still there or whatever. So you had multi-rooms anyway.
Yeah, because there was like 5 rooms in there.
Yeah,
so
so
you
you
had
could-
that strange spiral staircase, didn't you?
Yeah.
That-
So
how did not many people fall down that or up it?
I can imagine some people did, and they had that good viewing thing where you could view
Yeah,
people
like the
down-
balcony bit, yeah.
So anyway, good night, usual, back to the van. But this night was different. Normally we used to sleep in the van or get an hour or two, then drive back. But the one lad was like, "Nah, I'm gonna drive us." So back in the van. So imagine it now. I think there was only 2 in the was there 2 in the front anyway? Anyway, there was 2 or 3 in the front, but the lad that was driving is now in the back. And I remember him and you being absolutely smashed. I can't say what you was saying, 'cause it was just
Was it the usual banter that we had together?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was just it was like you used to together. I used to love that experience because I know it was good night. You know, on your cheeks hurt from laughing. Anyway,
Yeah.
all of a sudden the lad he's had a fair few to drink himself. First turn, curbs it, boom, boom, curbs you on the way off. So he set the tone. So anyway, as he's gone onto like the A road, the main road out of there, he quickly braked. So all of us in the back went flying into the front of the van, boom.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey.
But he was doing it on purpose,
Yeah,
weren't
he'd done that on purpose. So I remember then we all put the matches at the back,
Yeah.
and we was trying to like
Just brace ourselves,
yeah,
weren't it?
brace ourselves for when he done it, because literally, imagine a van going 70 miles an hour and then braking. Like obviously gravity just does its thing.
Yeah, all them G-forces.
That's it. So, so he's been doing this for about 20 minutes now. And then I remember this one time, he's done it, and it's like, the only way I can describe it, it's from the scene from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where Yondu has just broken out the cage with Rocky, and he's killing all the people with the arrow, and he's walking normal, but everything else around him's going really slow. And it's got the giant American song. Anyway, I'm trying to yeah. And a little cafe at the border. That's the song that's playing on the movie at the time. So just like that, in my vision, everything's going normal, but everything's going really slow. So the lad at the front's quickly put the brakes on, and I've just seen one of the lad, literally, legs go underneath him, do a complete 180, so he's vertical upside down now. Look, literally in an instant, like he's been possessed. So he's flipped upside down, straight into the where we're smashing into.
So it was the petition.
Yeah.
To the back of the van.
Hit the petition, land straight on his head, fall forward, and he was like, ah. Anyway, we stopped the van, got him all out. Anyway, put him in the front, he was fine, and that's pretty much,
Because you thought he broke his arm or something, didn't it?
we thought he broke something.
Yeah.
And, it's just, the only way I can describe it is literally, he was standing upright, and then just, he was upside down, like...
Yeah, literally within an instant, his feet replaced his head.
Yeah.
And he was just straight into the back.
That's it, smashed into it head first, then... And anyway, it turns out the lad says, it's a good job that he done that, because we was on a drive to Western Supermare, because we was planning to go to McDonald's, the one up near to us, at 24. Anyway, but I was going to go to Western Supermare and find a McDonald's there, and I was out there. But yeah, I thought that was just a funny story, because literally, We were just there like 6 men up in the back of a van, smashing off this barricade of the wall, and then the one time he literally just flipped like he was possessed, upside down into it, head first.
It was inevitably going to happen though, because he was fucking around, like standing up anyway, trying to like.
Yeah, we're trying to ride it, and it.
Yeah, and it's like how no one really got properly hurt anyway. I don't know. But,
What, you wouldn't even think about doing that now.
well, no, it's. I mean, just the fact that we was drunk and the driver decided to carry on driving back instead of just getting his head down for a few hours. It's not acceptable. It's not condoned.
No, but we used to fuck about up there. We used to go back to the vans and just talk outside the vans for about 2 hours.
Yeah, because I know sometimes we'd still have a bit of like the pre-drinks in the van, then we'd carry on drinking afterwards, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Because I remember on the one occasion, like, we grabbed the McDonald's and whatever, and the one lad was waving his food outside of a tramp who was like a homeless person that was just sitting on the floor, hoping for a bit of change. And he just waved his bag of like his Big Mac or whatever right in his face. Nasty.
I'll tell also a funny story. What just come to me. When I was a kid, I went to the shops around on break, and as I was walking back to school, a van drove past and he had a McDonald's milkshake in, and he threw it at me, called me a wanker, just randomly. Like, why would anyone do that? Like, like why? Like, I'd never, like, this was like a grown man. I mean, like, it was probably about our age now, so like 35, like going up, like 35, 40, like a man, like milkshake, like a 14-year-old kid. Like, what the fuck, man?
You've not enjoyed a simple pleasure there, then, kid. Because I've done that before. Fucking, no, I've not launched a milkshake at someone, but I've drove past like a group of school kids and like bibbed at them and like shouted, "You little wankers" or whatever, because it's just funny just to see the reaction.
But it wasn't even a group, it was just me and the other lad walking back into school from going to the shop. And I mean, this geezers, and passion aside, aren't like half out, like torso out the van. Oi, wanker! Why?
I'd say that one of the funnier times of something along them lines, I was in the van with a builder I used to do a lot of work with. I think it was around Stourbridge. With not that it's sunny at the moment, when the sun's out, people like to get the guns out. But this lad, he was just a skinny lad, but you know, one of the ones that thinks that they're like hench and that.
Yeah.
So he's got his big bowl walk on him, thinking he's the fucking dog's bollocks. And the builder, he's just, as we're driving past, he's wolf whistled him a lot at him out the window. And gone, "Alright, gorgeous." And this lad, his face just dropped, and he tried like running at the van, like, even though we're driving up the road, he just tried running, "You fucking puffs," and whatever he shouted. It just ruined his day because he's thinking he's a geezer, and he's fucking like women are driving past and they're all.
That's so wrong with that geezer because he's so homophobic comic that he just said.
He definitely says something along them lines.
So wrong.
But yeah,
should know better.
It was probably about 12 years ago.
Oh, so yeah, it was acceptable then.
Definitely acceptable to be a queer basher. So my story is a little bit different. It does involve drink, really, because the night before, as most weekends, we was always on it Friday, Saturday, and occasional Sundays as well. So, to be fair, I don't know where we would have went, or who I would have been with or anything the night before. Just know I'd had a rape to drink. And I'd been roped into working on the Saturday for the same builder, actually. He got in with his architect and we ended up doing a lot of footballers' houses. And this was the first one that I'd worked on. So the whole job we was doing the kitchen and whatever extension work and stuff. But I was absolutely hanging. Fucking head was banging. I hadn't had a breakfast or anything.
Oh, she's hungry as well.
Yeah, I was hungry. I threw up next to the van as well, so I had to get a bucket of water and fucking wash that away. And got to the point then, stomach starting to go a little bit, not for another sick, but for the other end, I needed to go for a dump. But the builder, he'd just used the toilet downstairs and he'd cleared out the whole of the ground floor basically anyway. He'd just stunk it out and I was not going to go into that toilet.
Well, after this, I've got a story about you as well.
I know which one
So the builders stunk at the toilet downstairs.
Stunk it out. The rest of the lads, they're trying to ride through it, but they've all gone out for some fresh air. But I needed to go to the toilet as well. So I've done the next best thing. I've gone upstairs. First bedroom I've walked into, gone into the ensuite.
So was there not a toilet upstairs that you could have used though?
There probably was, but
you just
I wasn't going to
decided
start opening all the doors.
Oh, so you wanted to go on the ensuite?
Yeah, I just knew it's a rich person's house. Every room's going to have an ensuite. And I just so happened to walk into a bedroom, saw the ensuite there, so walked into it, started to let loose. Next thing, phone starts ringing, and it's you that's called me up. And I don't know if I told you I was working the night before or whatever, but he was like, "What you doing?" I was like, "I'm having a shit." And you'd asked me whose I was at, and I didn't know what footballer's house I was in at the time. I just knew I was at a footballer's house.
Yeah.
And so once I'd finished the business, wipe my arse, which, right, there's a right way to wipe your arse. I'll save that for another time. But I've heard too many people. There's been discussions on other podcasts I've listened to over the last few weeks of people not wiping their arse right, and I don't know why.
In what way?
Just not wipe, but just like how they've still got skids in the boxes and that afterwards and that. And like, I know accidents can happen when you trust the fart too much and a little bit seeps out or whatever, but you've got to wipe right. It's like, I don't get why, particularly men, don't wipe their arse right. You've got to make sure everything's gone.
Do you stand up to wipe your
No.
See, I do both. I start off sitting down.
All right, we'll have this conversation now. I'll come back to the story in a minute. So I have tried standing up. I find that you can't get everything off.
I know you folder or scruncher.
You can't scrunch.
See, I'm a bit of both, mate.
No, so right. Excuse this conversation for a few minutes. If you're eating, pause it, finish your meal, and then press play again because it's going to get a little bit graphic now. So on the initial wipe, I get 2 sheets. Now,
it's always
this is always dependent on the quality of the toilet roll as well. You can't do this with Asda's special home brand of sandpaper. You've got to have a good quality, puppies on a roll or Cashel or something.
If you can afford it, because they're expensive.
Well, to be fair, a lot of these ones that everyone's seen on TikTok, where it's 60 odd rolls for £12 and that. I showed you the other month when it wasn't on TikTok, it was from Amazon, but that's good stuff, triple quilted and that. So the initial wipe, you get 2 sheets off, so 2 squares, put together, so folded in half, so it looks like 1 square, but it's double quilted.
Yeah.
So if it's triple quilted bog roll, you've got 6 quilts on there now. You do your initial wipe, because especially if it is a bit of a messy one, that you've got to get the toilet brush out and give it a clean afterwards. You're getting a good coverage, and you're not going to have the accident of your finger slipping through or anything. So you give it a wipe.
And why do people look at the tissue after the first wipe, even though they know there's stuff on there because it's the first wipe?
Right, so I don't look at it to look at it.
But look, there's stuff on that first wipe. Everyone knows there's stuff on there. Yeah. Unless it's a ghost one.
Those are amazing when it's a ghost poop.
Why is it? Oh, and the ghost poop ones, it's when you poop in, they're just like...
Yeah, it just comes out and then there's no
it's
evidence.
It's like you never had a shit.
Apart from what's in the toilet, there's no evidence. So, yeah, I don't look at it to see what's on there. I do the wipe, and I fold it, and then I give a second wipe.
Well, you double it?
Yeah,
on the same wipe? So you've reused the thing twice?
No, this is something you need to remember. I'm fucking tight. And with all this crisis going on, everyone's got to save the pennies. So take notes. This is how you save on toilet roll at home. So yeah, do the first wipe, fold it in half, give another wipe, let it drop into the toilet. Okay. And then it's 1 square at a time then.
Wow.
Yeah. So then you give a wipe, back out, fold, give another wipe. So you do that for as many times until you've got the initial poop from around the hole in between your bum cheeks. And if you've got a hairy arse, any clinging onto the hair and that, until that's all gone. Then the last couple of sheets with the square again, just a little tease, and now I mean,
I was going to
just
say,
a
do
little
you
bit,
stick anything?
and I mean, you're just piercing into it. You're not
You're not
pleasuring-
playing with it.
Yeah, you're not
you're
pleasuring
doing a
yourself.
job.
If you're touching your first knuckle, you've gone too deep. you literally, you don't even want to feel your fingernail. You just want a little bit of an insertion. So you do it on one corner, rotate the paper, do it on another.
But if people like getting pegged, then they should
Yeah, you definitely need to do
go
that.
go
But
to the knuckle.
if you enjoy being pegged, you should be douching anyway. So you're cleaning your arse in that sense. So you give 3 little pokes and you check after the first 2 to see how much residue is on there. And you do that final step until it's all clean. So you're just seeing pure paper left. You don't want to see any brown stain whatsoever. And that is the most convenient way to clean your bum.
Right. All right. Now
Now, I have had it before where I was on a building site. We converted a load of houses and I had to go. There was no toilet roll, but I was right next to a sink, so I have had to use my hands. But I did wash my hands afterwards.
what should we do?
And to be fair, because that's a cultural thing. They do wipe the backsides like that.
Yeah.
Several Asian countries. And it was kind of eye-opening. Not
It's
because I
based
slipped my
like
finger in or
a.
anything.
Isn't that what you do with a bidet?
Yeah,
Yeah. So.
which that's something that I do want to get actually, because there's I think the product's called Tushy, so it's like a little attachment that goes onto the toilet and gives a little squirt just to help clean. But yeah. So anyway, back to the toilet, the story in question. So yeah, finished wiping, backside's all nice and clean. And what I ended up doing was finding a picture and how to send it to you. This was before WhatsApp as well.
Yeah, it was.
So I've literally, as I've left the ensuite, I've realised I was in the master bedroom and it was a wedding picture. And I'm not going to Pro Evo it because that would be like Briss Crunt if I was to Pro Evo his name. So it was former West Brom captain at the time as well, Chris Brunt. I was in his, and it was his wedding picture that I'd sent over to you. And then within seconds of you receiving it, phone started ringing again, and all I've heard as soon as I've answered is just pure loud laughter, which was too loud for my hangover at the time, so I couldn't even hold the phone next to my ear. And you're in between your laughs, you're trying to get out. It's Chris Brunt's house.
Yeah.
You've just had a shit in Chris Brunt's house.
Yeah.
Not only was it just his house, it was his personal ensuite.
Because I remember being in the cafe with a few of the other lads, and I told him what you said because I called to see if he was coming, but because obviously I forgot that you had work anyway. But we was just joking about, look, he had some footballers arse on the suite, and obviously you know what the lads like. So when he sent the picture, obviously, just couldn't get the words out because he was just funny.
Yeah, and because I remember I was in his garage at some point during the job as well. There was a man of the match bottle of champagne from playing against Man United, which I did want to steal that, to be fair, because that would have been an expensive bottle of wine, champagne, sorry. But that sort of started a bit of a running theme then as well, didn't it? Because I worked in several footballers' houses after that. Matthew Lowson, who was playing for Aston Villa at the time, absolute fucking wanker. Like, apologies for going off the stories now and going on to a bit of a rant, but what a lazy piece of shit he was, and his missus. So like, we've got there, they're on holiday. You know, I don't go to these houses to see the. I didn't go there to see the footballers or anything. It was just to do the work.
Yeah.
But like, he's gone on holiday. They've left dirty clothes all over the place, dirty nappies and everything. Not just like in the bathroom, but in the kitchen where we're working and that as well. Left them lying for the cleaner to come and sort out. You know, you've got people coming in your house. Have a bit of decency.
Yeah.
So we ended up doing all of his house up and that as well. And when he'd come back on the last day, we'd already finished. I was sitting in the van waiting to go, and he's pulled up top of the range Land Rover and that. Him, his missus and the baby's got out of the car, and them two wouldn't even look at us. As I say, I'm not there to have a conversation, or I'm not a Villa fan, not a Loughton fan. I'm not trying to get a conversation and have an autograph or anything. Just fucking crack on. It's Friday. I want to go home. But the fact that wouldn't even look to say hello, and the child was probably like 3 or something. He's walking around and he's like, oh yeah, he's trying to say hello to us, and the mother's just grabbed him. No, get away from them. Get away from them. I'm like, I don't even want to speak to your child either. Just fucking, just have a bit of respect, man. Absolute ignorance. Jamie Vardy was sound. His missus wasn't. But
Did you poop in his house?
I did, yeah.
In his ensuite?
No, it was the downstairs toilet next to the kitchen and utility that we was doing for him, because we converted his double garage into his games room, and that was just before Leicester won the Premier League as well. That was.
Because that's where they celebrated
so
winning the league, didn't they?
I imagine you could probably get it on YouTube, but the party they had of the celebration of winning the Premier League,
because
that room.
They watched, was it the Tottenham Chelsea game in Vardy's house? And obviously, I think if Chelsea won, obviously Leicester became champions.
Yeah.
And that's where there was watching the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as Jamie was saying, we had a skip on his drive, and he had like a McDonald's wrapper or something, and he's thrown it to try and throw it into the skip, but completely missed. And like, us being men just like laughed at him, took the piss, like, stick to football, you dickheads. And he's like, fuck off. Fuck you. But again, his missus, what miserable fucker. We did, he doesn't live in his house anymore anyway, so what was a converted loft, half of it was their bedroom, the ensuite. The other half was what we made into a walk-in wardrobe, and there was 17 different compartments, all just for shoes. Just absolutely ridiculous. And bear in mind, this is before he was earning good money. But don't get me wrong, like,
he was
already earning good money, but obviously when they won the Prem, he started earning, I think 75 grand a week or something like that then.
Yeah.
So, it's just absolutely ridiculous. I nearly got the chance to work at Bales, but I didn't get to go there. But again, I've heard stories about that. He I don't know if it's still the case, but he used to pay his brother-in-law 50 grand a year just to pull his cars in and out of his garage every couple of days. Well,
perfect job, ain't it?
Yeah, what a life to live. Like,
take my Ferrari full spin for 10 minutes.
Yeah, just up and down the country lane.
Do a service.
Yeah.
Call up.
I know at the time it was while he was having his garden landscaped into an 18-hole golf course as well.
Nice.
So not bad. The daughter's Wendy house was bigger than most average 3-bedroom houses as well. And it had a horse riding paddock around it. It's just, I mean, to be fair, he was on 600 grand a week. So,
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It's
nothing.
Pocket change for him, easy. But fucking. So that was my funny story, and David, I hope you enjoyed that. That was a good question. Thank you.
But speaking about the builder stinking out the downstairs, I remember another time we went to Worcester, and we went to McDonald's in Worcester.
Yeah, so this was one of the occasions that we actually did go to sleep.
Yeah,
after being out all night.
Yeah, so I think the McDonald's opened about 5 o'clock. It was early anyway. He won a 24. Was he a 24/7?
That was all day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had a little kid. You needed a shit.
Yeah.
And one of the lads was like, I don't want anything. So anyway, he comes in about 5 minutes later, walks in, stands next to me. I can't remember if I've just finished my food or just got my food at this point. He walks in and goes, the fuck's that smell? It fucking stinks. And I went, mate, that's JD. And you've literally just come out the toilet dead. And I remember him being so angry. Like, he just turned away and went back in the van, didn't even eat. And I remember him going to me after, was that really JD? He's like, yeah. He was like, fucking disgusting.
Well, because I remember that.
It hit.
Oh yeah, it was a wave.
It literally. It's like, I remember like at one point going outside and coming back in, and it as soon as you walk, you hit. And I mean, the toilets were at the back.
Yeah, but they would, because where the counter was, that you'd order the food. Because back in the day, you used to have to go to the counter. There wasn't these like
the touch screens,
touch screens to order your food. You physically went to the counter,
and he was to the right of that, wasn't
just to the right.
So
because you had a door on the left to go into like the kitchen bit, or the doors on the right were for the toilets.
So I can imagine people smelling it, and then progressively, as they want to order food, getting worse. Oh, it was so. Oh my god!
I remember obviously sitting there. Well, I'm already smelling it because it's coming out of me. But this geezer's come in, opened the door, and like, what the fuck? Like, he's gagged a little bit.
It's
and then he's walked up, so it must have been as he's come in. That's just opened the fucking
seal, just like,
and allowed the smell to escape.
It just need. I can't describe it to you, but it hit, and when it hit, it was like the back of your throat.
Yeah, for the male audience of legal age that does like a bev, it's your typical pure alcohol induced, like, because nothing was studied, let's be honest, nothing was come out of it. And so it was a mixture of all the different drinks, you know, the beers, the shots and fucking everything, that just all come out.
They would have had to open all the windows and doors for a good few hours to air that out, because that was horrendous.
Which, as we all know, McDonald's can't do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's just all glass.
So that must have stayed in there for a good while. I mean, I reckon people about 3 hours later would walk in and be like, ooh.
They probably did, yeah.
It was a bad one.
Yeah.
It's the worst smelling shit I've smelled. And I wasn't even in the cube. I wasn't even in the toilet. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how bad it. Like, I was in the restaurant bit. I was in the restaurant having my McDonald's premium, you know, breakfast meal, and I wasn't even in the toilet. Still on the cubicles, and it smelled bad.
The problem with most of them McDonald's toilets, because I remember that one being the same anyway. There was like 2 urinals and 1 cubicle.
So it was tight.
Yeah, so it's already a small room, so there's not much space for that gas to escape. And it was just there. It was like, look, you gotta go. I've done enough damage to toilets over the years.
Well, also, even though this one meant to be a poop question, we talked about a lot of, like, it didn't have to be poop, but there's a lot of poop involved.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've got loads of stories that we could go on and on about, but we'll save them for other occasions. You know, if anyone else wants to email in and ask us questions, ask for other stories.
Yeah. Just anything
obviously.
Or just advice.
Yeah.
You know, he's gave you advice how to wipe your ass, you know.
That's the best advice you'll learn this week, I'll tell you. Hi everyone, it's me, this is me face. Just want to remind you, we want you to send in any questions that you might have, any topics you want us to talk about. Email us at realtalkingpod@gmail.com. Tweet us, it's Ash and JD, that's the Twitter handle. So literally anything that you might have, just say hello. Literally, doesn't matter to us. Send them in. See ya. That's for those who don't know, because it's always been a bit of a touchy subject as well, the toilet roll issue with me. Because
I know he's going to say. We can't say.
I don't get why, like, so many people have to waste toilet roll. So I won't say any direct names or anything, but there was a time where I had guests staying over at mine, and I had to take my personal good toilet roll out of the bathroom because it was just getting wasted. Because the time before, when they had stayed over, like 2 rolls were used within like the space of a day. So let's just say I'd gone to work in the morning, come back like 10 hours later, and it was like, say it went from 4 down to 1.5 that was left in the pack. I'm like, how is it all gone? Like, no one's shitting that much. Between 3 people in the house, no one's shitting that much. So on that second occasion, I took my puppies on a roll out of the bathroom, and I went to Asda, bought their fucking sandpaper, and left it in there. And over the space of 2 days, 6 rolls were gone.
2 days?
Yeah. Well, it might have been 3 days.
Yeah,
but
like,
still.
yeah, like, so like Friday to Sunday kind of thing.
It's just not acceptable. Like, I don't get why some people have to get the roll, wang it around the hand several times, like they're trying to make the fucking mummy hand or something, just to wipe.
Also, I know we're not going on this thing, but we're doing it. When we went to Cyprus, obviously you can't put your toilet paper down obviously the pan in it.
Yeah, so some countries
it's just
aren't
like
the same
so like
as,
Greece, Cyprus, and I think Turkey. The sewage system doesn't allow it.
Yeah, because they literally are that ancient of sewage systems. The pipes aren't big enough to be able to cope with toilet roll and other stuff to go down along with poop.
Yeah.
So what you're meant to do is wipe and put it
in
into
the bin. Oh,
it's
it's
the toilet.
Anyway, yeah. Well, I remember when we were in there, you had a shit, and I was like, "Did you flush?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You weren't supposed to," and he was like, "Fuck up."
Yeah, because
that little bin, so it's like
it was just a tiny bin, and like
it's like
there was how many? 6 of us in this fucking villa.
Yeah.
So 6 people's worth of fucking shit.
And then
tissue.
who gets that bag? Then
One of us would have had to have taken that bag out and put it into the bins.
I think we all flushed then. He just flushed it down.
Yeah, because I ain't having it. Like, obviously, we just informed you about McDonald's stuff, right? So I'm not gonna put everyone else through that throughout the whole day, especially when we're trying to have a drink round by the pool and fucking having a barbecue and that, and you're just smelling shit coming from the bathroom.
Yeah.
Fuck that. There was a lid on the bin, but still.
Yeah.
Nah.
But yeah, I mean, for a question that didn't need to be shit, we have spoke a lot of shit.
We have got other stories. They're not all poo related.
Yeah.
I do promise that. But you'll hear about them over the time. We're planning on doing a lot more podcasts in the future, not just a few poop episodes. But I think we should lighten the load a little bit now. Excuse the pun. So if we go back to some would you rathers, which I say go back to, it's on one of the lost episodes that we couldn't salvage the footage for.
Yeah, and the controversial one on that one, which would you rather? Would you rather be completely hairless?
Yeah, so it's completely hairless, so no hair on your head, arms, eyebrows, nothing, completely bald, or as hairy as a gorilla.
Yeah, and I went bald, no hair, and you went hairy as a gorilla.
Yeah, and you really dug down on that.
Just because the maintenance of that is just, you'd have to spend about 2 hours a day. Because you'd have hair, you'd have to shape up all of that.
No, but that wasn't the point of the question though. It's just you're just hairy.
Yeah, hair all over your body.
Yeah, I'm already hairy and that.
Yeah,
anyway,
but you haven't got hair everywhere.
But I have.
So look,
you've only seen me naked 3 times. Look, so yeah, I'd be hairy. Ash would be bald.
Yeah. And it's a shame we lost that episode because I thought it was
Yeah, because on that as well, we'd had a couple of drinks on that one, which we are planning on doing another episode where we've had a few beverages. Maybe that would be the same with some would you rather questions and probably quiz questions or something. Because it was a shame because both them episodes were good because for any new listeners, that was over the King's Coronation weekend. We did 2 episodes in one day. And the first one, we had a little flag up and we had the little banners and stuff, and we spoke about the king and his sausage fingers, and we had some funny, strange British
facts, didn't we?
British facts and like strange British traditions.
Yeah.
Which again, we might do that on another episode.
Also,
again.
I think like when you think about it, some traditions are dying. Because you remember like biscuits on a play, what your nan used to do.
I still get that a lot. So
I just eat it from the
personally
pack
do
now, but like people use biscuits on it.
Yeah,
on
so
a
if-
plate, like
Oh, that reminds me actually. I went to have a couple of biscuits last night. Some posh Fox's cookies with chocolate in the middle, and I grabbed them. Fucking orange. I didn't look at the pack properly.
what
when I
orange
bought them.
chocolate.
Yeah.
What-
So as soon as I opened the pack, I could just smell the orange. So
Don't
I'm
you
not.
like, don't you like it? Oh.
No, I don't like orange chocolate. I don't like Jaffa cakes or anything. I just like chocolate.
Well,
So-
Jeff cakes a cake, don't they?
But they're sold next to the biscuits.
Oh yeah. Right.
So, yeah, I was absolutely gutted. So that means the missus has got some cookies. Fucking God, I bought them from like a treat for myself as well. Just some cookies, posh cookies. God. But yeah, sometimes. So mainly, yeah, if I have biscuits, I'll eat them straight out of the packet, which is what I went to do last night. But no, if it's to be fair, it is mainly the older customers. When they do offer to make a cup of tea, they'll put a
And have hard
plate of
sweets.
biscuits. Oh yeah, the Werther's originals. And
Yeah, yeah, look hard boiled sweets.
yeah,
Like,
chocolate eclairs as
I
well.
want
the
that
little
long.
sweets.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I barely like if I have any biscuits or anything, it is as a treat for myself from time to time.
What was that boiled sweet where it was strawberries and cream? What was that called? And
Because
it
it's
had the
like a
swirl.
swirl, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Mate, that was fucking nice. We done about
They
stuff.
don't do them anymore.
No,
do
no,
they?
we was on about that with the drifters and stuff last week.
I think they
Like
literally
2
were
weeks
just
ago
like
now.
strawberry cream.
What was it called?
Strawberry creams or
And
something.
Frosties. Do you remember them? They're a bit newer. But those.
Yeah, they were like just a like jelly with sugar on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never much of a fan of them ones, to be fair.
But the strawberry and cream ones, they look like a Werther's original, but with strawberries and
Yeah,
cream.
it was the same shape, but literally was just a swirl of
What was that called?
white and cream. I feel
Oh,
like the
mate, I want
strawberry
that.
swirls or something.
Swirlies.
Probably, oh, yeah. Oh.
It's gonna come like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, if any of you know what we're on about, I mean, I imagine you'd have to be.
Of a certain age.
Yeah, if you're like in your teens or like early 20s, you're probably thinking, what are these dickheads on about? But yeah, if you do happen to know, it might be a part of the Mandela effect. They probably never existed, did they? No, but it's not like opal fruits. Starburst, that's what opal fruits are. They were originally opal fruits and then they changed to Starburst. But there was loads like remember flake snow?
Yeah.
So flake white chocolate
Yeah.
in the middle, snowflake.
Really nice chocolate.
It was nice. Loads of them that just don't do anymore. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going off on a tangent again, aren't we? So we've got some would you rather questions. If you've got an opinion of your own, then feel free to email it to us at realtalkingpod@gmail.com or tweet your opinion at Ash and JD. So
Right,
I see you dying to ask it.
yeah, so just 2 easy ones, which, well, I think they're easy.
Yeah.
Would you rather lose your sight or lose your hearing?
So as a person that struggles with both,
What was that?
exactly. So I am actually like half deaf in my right ear. That's just negligence over the years from not wearing ear defenders with the power tools over the years, and then eyesight. Yeah, I actually.
Also, sorry, Jay, as you talk about Graph so much, why don't Salco sponsor us? Or
That'd be-
QuickFit?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because Salco, we know you're listening. You know.
You told
just-
a story when you used to get the free sandwich. But
Yeah,
in the
yeah. You
morning.
used to get
You know what I
a
mean?
free bacon sandwich or a sausage sandwich.
You know what I mean?
But
There
yeah,
was Salco
you know,
hook up.
just drop us the email. You know, we're ready to shout you out with the sponsors.
I'm sure they loved that.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, do it again, mate.
Yeah, so I know this is another tangent again. I was actually having a conversation the other day because my cousin's daughter has got to start wearing glasses now. She's only 7, I think. So you think it's going to be quite a common thing now because, I mean, we're guilty of it anyway, always like phone in hands or watching the TVs. So you think all the kids now that have just literally like told to stay quiet, put with a tablet
Yeah,
in their hands,
straight in the
watching
face.
stuff. So imagine most kids are going to grow up wearing glasses now, aren't
I
they?
wonder if evolution would like. I don't know
Yeah,
how long you
adapt
would
to it,
say.
maybe.
Yeah, so I don't know. Would you make your eyes more open in terms of, or would you make your eyelids more? You know, because
Well, I know what some of
'cause
you
you
are thinking out there, slant-eyed, but that evolution was down to
from the snow and
yeah,
in the
from
face of
yeah,
the
from the
like,
winds and the
yeah.
sands and
But
everything.
what I'm
blowing
saying
out,
is
they're
obviously
always
because when you, after so long when you screen, your squint's kind of like look.
What it? So I think I'd rather go deaf.
I think so because you can still. I think seeing stuff visually is more important than hearing stuff. But
Yeah, and as someone that loves the food, you can't hear how good your meal is going to be, but you can see how good it's going to be.
Yes.
Obviously, again, when it comes to TV, you've got all the subtitles, which a lot of the time goes too quick. I do struggle to read some of it, but at least that way you can still enjoy it. And again, when watching a football, most of the time I don't listen to the commentators. I'll happily sit there with TV muted and I'll listen to my own commentary with like Mark Goldbridge or someone. So yeah, I'd rather go deaf.
Right, and then the other quick one. Would you rather have a living chef or a living cleaner?
Well, for me, be living cleaner, just because I do enjoy cooking.
Yeah. See, mine be the opposite. I don't mind cleaning, but
Well, your missus is actually all right at cooking as
Yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah.
compared to mine. But no, I do. Like, I told you off the pods. I got myself a stand mixer last weekend, and I've been doing a lot of bread throughout the week, homemade pizzas and stuff. I just enjoy it. Especially, I love cooking a Sunday roast. So I've got some pork ready for this Sunday. But it's just nice, if there's football on, I'll watch the game.
yeah.
Depending on time of kick-off, I'll do the prep before, watch the game, or watch the game, then start cooking. But it's just therapeutic. You can just have a couple of drinks, do all the meal prep, get the meat in the oven, and the smell. Oh God, it's just great. That and
But you could still get the smell of someone else cooking it for you, mate. And you could still have a beer.
yeah, but I just enjoy doing it. It's just a roast dinner. It's a staple meal of a British home anyway. But I grew up having the best and worst of it really. So with mum working most weekends, my sister used to cook the Sunday dinners on a weekend. Obviously on Sunday. But then when I'd be at my dad's, I'd have some of the worst roast dinners ever.
Who used to cook your dad?
No, stepmom. Now I get it. I appreciate when there's 6 kids that you're trying to share out a fucking chicken, and dad's always got to have the legs. Like, you can't always get a good portion of chicken, but it has to be cooked properly. And to have burnt sausages on the dinner as well. Oh God. I mean, like back then as well, because I've never used to eat any of the veg, so it literally would just be some mash, a couple of roasters, and meat, and a Yorkshire pudding or two on the plate. So there was nothing to enjoy on one of those dinners. But at least when my sister cooked, big sister, we had a nice dinner. Mash was always like nice and buttery, and the roasters would be cooked nice and crisp, soft on the inside, and you're actually getting a portion of meat, no burnt sausages. So it was from then really. I mean, because pretty much from the age of 14, sometimes I'd get home from school and I'd have to cook for myself anyway, do my own washing or whatever. So I think it just stems from that. Because I've had to do it, then I just enjoy doing it, and especially when I started like trying new foods and getting used to different foods and actually eating more healthily. It's just a nice way to cook something that you don't like to a way that you will enjoy it. So, not have a cleaner.
Well, another one that I found could split opinions. Would you rather be the most overdressed or the most underdressed guest at a party? See, I sometimes have the thing where you go somewhere, not so much like out or something, but like, you know, sometimes you turn up wearing shorts and everyone else is like half decent. So which one would you rather be? Would you rather be the most overdressed or underdressed guest at a party?
Well, for the watchers on the YouTube videos, you'll mainly see that I don't really care what I'm dressed as. So I'd be the underdressed because I'll just, unless it's a special event, a wedding or something, I just don't see the need to have to put on an appearance for people.
Yeah, no, I'm the same, underdressed all the way. Yeah.
Because like even with my wedding, I says to everyone, dress how you want, and then they could have bought a change of clothes to change into shorts and t-shirts or whatever afterwards if they wanted to. I even planned to do it at some point, but I didn't. I'd prefer everyone to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just underdressed. That's the way I'd be.
I've got another one interesting here. Would you rather know the date you would die in the future or the cause of your death?
So I have heard this one a few times. For me, I'd rather know the cause. Because if you knew when you was going to die, it's just like a big countdown.
Yeah. But if you knew you was going to die in a plane crash, you just wouldn't ever go on a plane.
Yeah, but that's where you can't be as specific as that. Because if it says you died because of a plane crash, that plane could be like failing. You could just be driving on a motorway, going from A to B, and a plane crashes into you.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to live that way of avoiding said thing because it could be a numerous ways that could still kill you.
So, what one would you rather?
I'd rather know what's going to kill me.
What's going to kill? Okay.
Because you've got a bit of a fighting chance. But again, with most of the things these days, it's probably just be something boring or cancer or something, wouldn't it? But yeah, you're going to die of cancer.
Is it interesting one actually? A bit morbid actually, keeping on the same. Would you rather die before your spouse or after your spouse? That's a hard one because
I think it depends on what age you're at, really.
Yeah, but obviously then that person, either you'll have to go through that torment of losing obviously your partner.
Yeah.
Or would you rather them go through that pain?
So that's why I think it depends on age. Because if you're old, if we're lucky to get to like the age of 90, and then you die at that age, comfortably, naturally, then it's not too bad because you're expecting it. You're old. You're waiting for that to come, really.
Yeah.
But if it happens, within like 5 years, and either yourself or your partner's still got another 30, 40 years to live with that, like weighing on them, then that'd be a lot harder. So if it was at like around now, I'd rather them go. No, because I'd rather be selfish and not have to put them through the pain.
Okay. And would you be allowed to move on? Would you?
I'd be back to being a top shagger again. No, it's like,
it's a hard one, that one.
Yeah,
but it's just keeping on the
morbid side. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think I'd rather have to go through the pain than put them through it.
Yeah. No, I do agree with that one.
Yeah.
Another one, which I think me and you are going to agree on. Would you rather arrive super early or super late to an event?
Early.
Why are people so late all the time? Like,
no, again, it's going to seem like I'm bashing my wife a bit again today, like episode 4. But it's not going to be anything as bad as that. Even though I still haven't had a birthday present. But now we're in July. So, yeah, I don't see why. So I have to lie to my missus. So let's just say we're going to the cinemas.
Yeah.
And the film starts at 10:30. I have to say it starts at 10 o'clock. So it gives me a fighting chance to be there for 10:15. Because it's like always in their heads.
Yeah,
I'm going to leave it to the last minute.
Yeah.
And especially if it is like the cinema, you haven't got to get dressed up. You don't even need to put any fucking makeup on or anything. But no, it's make an effort, drag everything along, or I'll go for a shower at 9:15, knowing that we've got to be out of the house in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Fair enough, I live 2 minutes away from the cinema, but it's not the point. And I know, it might say it's 10:30, but it will be like 11 o'clock when it starts.
Yeah.
But I want to be there. So whether it's the cinema, the pub, or whatever, look, if it is, especially if it is like you're going for a meal or something, you're getting a good seat, you're getting a nice table. Like, you got to get comfortable, because especially if it is a party, if you're arriving an hour or so late and you've got nowhere to sit, you're standing up, and like you just no, I ain't about that. I've got to be comfortable.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it.
Got to set the ambience right in you.
Yeah, and like especially if I know it probably is just mainly because we've got the drink thing in our heads. Like, you want to go out, you want to have a good time and enjoy it. So why get there late and miss most of the stuff?
Yeah.
Like, get there.
Then catch up. You're playing catch up, aren't you?
Just be there the whole time, if not earlier. So that's what I'll try and do.
So it's alright. I'm going through some of them, and some of them are not that great. So I'm just trying to find one where we can have a little bit debate about. But
well, I've got a little one here while you're trying to find another one.
Go on then.
Would you rather have a time machine or a teleporter?
Ooh.
So obviously the time machine, we all know the laws of physics. Time machine will take you forward or back in time, but the teleporter would take you from A to B in an instant.
Well, that is a good one actually. Let me just process that. Oh, mate. That is a good one. I think would go for a teleporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
just because of the unknown of going in the past
because if you've got a time machine, I know you can go back in the past, but you'd have to be so careful not to change anything.
Yeah.
Like, the butterfly effect and all that. Literally. Because if you're going in the past, your main thing that most people really are going to go in is to try and find that big winning lottery ticket numbers. That's what everyone's going to do. But if
go in the future then come back.
Yeah,
do
if
way
you're
around.
doing that, you're changing the future then as well. So you don't want to do that because you don't know what wave you're going to do.
I just think a teleporter is just, you could just go, do you want to go away? Yeah. Spain.
But again, sticking with that money thing that I've got in my head, teleporting to the bank with all the monies, get yourself a couple hands full, teleport back out, in and out, no one knows, done.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's win-win really.
Yeah.
No, that was a good one. So,
Yeah.
No, teleporter. Is it, speaking the gender thing, because there's more, would you rather be a kid or an opposite gender for a month, or non-binary, if you wanted to be non-binary for a month? That's what I mean.
Yeah, I think you've got to go for the opposite gender, because why would you want to be a kid again?
I don't know, why would you want to...
No.
You can't be...
No, because you've got to think of it practically here. So, we'd have to go to work as the child, because you can't just not go to work still. We've also got to earn our money. And you can't, like, you're losing your physical strength. So, like, I say that because with me and yourself, we wouldn't be able to lift stuff and use the tools properly and that if we're a child again. And it's not like everything's just going to be free because you're back to being a child. At least if you're the opposite gender, you're still capable enough of living that month and doing what you need to do. Plus, as a man, I'm sure women would do the same as well. If you could swap just for a temporary amount of time, you're gonna have a good play.
I think every female that if this was like, there was like, I'll be a man, would helicopter straight away.
But that's if they've been given a big enough dick to be able to do it. Because how gutty would you be if that was in your head as a woman? You want to be a man for a week or a month or whatever. And you think, I'm going to do that. But how gutty would you be that Jeannie, there you go, you swapped over. You got a micro dick. A little mushroom sticking out. So you can barely even flick it, let alone fucking get a bit of a swing on it. No, like Mr. Chow in fucking The Hangover. Like, imagine it's like that small so that you literally can't do anything with it. You'd be gutsy, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
At least like if it's the other way around, like male to female, like you've still got the box to play with.
Yeah.
You know, you're still going to have some form of, breasts to play with as well. So I think it's only the men that are going to be the winners in that situation, aren't they? It's always going to be harder the other way around. So yeah, did you have any other ones?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few, but I'm trying to find the good one. I didn't know whether if you wanted to do some of those, or have you got any good ones there?
Well, to be fair, there is loads. We could go on for another hour or so doing them, but we are at the hour point now.
Yeah, I think we need to find like a proper like adult one, like proper. So like these, some of them are just a bit cliche, if you will.
Yeah, a lot of
one
them
like
we would have heard before. I mean, like there was even one here. Would you rather hop all the time or squat? So, like, as you walk in, you got to do like a lungy squat or you're hopping around.
Yeah, be a hop.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go for the squat really, because if I'm carrying stuff, like, could you try and imagine you walking or hopping with a cup of tea in your hand? At least if you're squatting, like doing the lunging squat, you've got a bit more control. If you're hopping around, plate of food's going everywhere. At least if you're lunging, you're squatting. So I'm thinking of the practical side of things there. But yeah, we've gone over an hour again now. So just a reminder again, we appreciate questions coming in. Please do send any more in. So as we say, it's realtalkingpod@gmail.com. Twitter is Ash and JD. So tweet, send a DM, whatever. We should know more of what to do. We're getting old. We're too old for this technology malarkey. And on the YouTubes, Real Talking Pod. The links will be in the description as you click on the podcast as well, for any of those. The downloads, it does make a difference with the stats. With the downloads, I can physically see how many are downloaded, and it does no harm. It takes up next to no space on your phone or your laptop, whatever you're listening on. And I think with Spotify, after 30 days, it automatically deletes itself anyway.
Okay.
So you're not continuously using up all your memory on your phone. Plus, everyone's got like unlimited memory on the phones anyway, really, and millions of pictures and all sorts. Got the cloud and whatever. So it's no hardship. Say like it, share it, tell everyone. If you've got a friend or colleague or family member that you think they'd enjoy listening to us more bits, then just tell them. Just give a little nudge. Say, yeah, mate, have a listen to these. Really do appreciate it. And thanks again to David. Danny G, you're slacking a bit there now, aren't you, kids? You better send us another message in, send another email. But we're open for everyone. Please do get in touch. And we'll see you next time, man. Peace.